Okay, X seems to be streaming. The reason why I'm talking to myself is more or less because I need to see if my audio is okay. So that's the main reason. Why? Okay, so X is streaming and it says that YouTube is streaming too. Is it? Yeah. Well then, here we are. I need to run to a doctor's appointment, or not, well, either way, medical appointment. So I am starting to drive now. That's the wrong way. We're not going to be able to get out there. Are we? Oh, yeah. Oh, no. We picked a really interesting way. Okay, well, never mind. It would... well, let's see. This is kind of dumb, the way we go. I will intervene because I don't want to make a left turn there to my right here. Looks okay though. There's a way easier way, but we take the hard way because FSD doesn't know. So there you have it. I might need my sunglasses. Ooh. So we are turning left here, and that's a very busy stretch. We could have picked two different ways with traffic lights instead of making a left turn that is more or less unprotected. But look at this. It actually looks... Ah, that was good. So we made sure not to hit the bicycle. And let me see what else I need to do here. Starlink, I don't really want to connect to it. I want to, actually I do want to look at my camera battery. So yesterday I was streaming and had an issue where my battery was too drained, wasn't charging enough, and I'm just looking at it right now. It fell by 2% from 100 to 98, but it is charging. So let's see. Does the audio work? Wasn't charging enough. Yeah. Alrighty. So again, I'm just testing this here because my plan is when I'm going to California on Thursday that I can stream most of the way. And so I'm testing some settings here. That's basically what's going on. In terms of bandwidth, in terms of different recording settings that I have, and so on. So there's some stuff happening behind the scenes. The stream may look to you like it usually does, but I am incorporating even more things at this point. It's like super crazy. So I'm using Speedify. That's a new thing that I haven't covered in my video on how I stream. And now I'm also using Restream, which is a provider that allows you to stream on multiple platforms at the same time. So far, I'm just using YouTube and X at the same time. But who knows? I may, make that bigger. And yeah, that's basically it. So my connection here is not the best. Starlink will have issues. I'm blending in using Speedify with my hotspot, which is also very bad here. So that's my area is just like a dead zone, like the valley of the clueless that have no real connection to the world here. Again, it may have skipped, it may have dropped out, but like I was saying, my connection here, Starlink and hotspots, not the best. So, and then with all the trees here, it's obviously not helpful to get a good Starlink signal. And I switched to the preferred plan where you get more data than others that just have a regular plan. That plan is limited to 500 gigabit. Well, it's actually not limited, but you buy in blocks. You either buy 500 gigabyte. Did I say gigabit before gigabyte? Or you buy 50 gigabyte blocks, I think. And so I don't want to buy 1,000, but I have bought 500 gigabyte and have a contingency to add 20 gigabyte to it if I'm going over. So that's what's happening. So I'm actually burning some of the plan right now with my test. I have done a live stream before driving to California, most of it. I also have, oh, see, we go in this lane. I also have done a live stream from most of it from Atlanta to Dallas when I helped my son moving, and then from Dallas to Nashville, sort of, and then back to Atlanta. So there are some live streams that I did. I think one was 16 hours. And again, my plan is to stream. And if I leave on Thursday, probably around 3 p.m. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna be able to stick to this, but so is the plan for now. And obviously, it's still bright outside. What I found out while live streaming when it is dark is I do have to turn the cabin light on a bit, so in order for you guys to see this area here. And then, going ahead, whatever you can see in the illumination of the headlights, it's not really the best, in my opinion, to see somebody driving in the dark. But again, it would be a live stream, and it would just be illustrating how it goes. So, and one thing I wanted to do with the stream, which I see is not the case, it's still sort of behind, not as much as before. I would like to have a really low latency so that if there's somebody, responding with something in the chat or saying something, so at least you have a chance to stay current with what is happening, because if there's a delay of almost like 30 seconds, then whatever you respond to or whatever you ask has happened. There's new stuff going on here. So I may have passed whatever you saw and you referred to. So it would be nice, to have that. Talking about nice, let me turn on Waze because police is here some of the times. It would be nice to be somewhat current with those messages and be able to respond to it. So that's the thing. And as usual, we are in the left lane. Not really sure why, but yes, it makes sense now with the traffic light coming up on red. But I think FSD still has to or Tesla AI still has to figure out how to do this, not to stay in the left lane, especially on the interstate. It's kind of unbecoming in a way. So let's see some stuff here. Yeah, it does stream here. Okay, cool. And for whatever reason, in that UI itself of Restream, I'm like way behind. Yeah. Okay, I think what it is if you are deactivating the tab, it starts, or it does not start. It ends kind of being active in the video in the tab, and it falls behind. I think so. Either way, so my drive is only 18 minutes. Not far. I think there's part of interstate on it. Yes, it is. So that's coming up. Need to be on the interstate in 1.5 miles, which means we have to go over into the right lane at some point. I'm in hurry. I'm on 14.3.2. I haven't received the spring update yet with the increase from 14.3.2 to 14.3.2 to 14.3.3. Jeez. Tongue twisters. So Hurry is trying to pass all of those trucks here. It may work. It should. So yeah, long road trip ahead. So now we got ourselves stuck here behind this pickup truck driver. See, those are all things. If I would have driven myself, I would have used the opportunity to basically now speed up a little bit and change lanes. But again, let FSD figure this out. I have 0.4 miles before my turn, and need to be in the right lane at some point. And look at this, it may actually have worked out beautifully. If we accelerate fast enough now, it shouldn't be an issue to get over. And off we go. Perfect. Couldn't have done it better myself. And if I would have done it myself, I would have actually ended up in that lane behind those two cars on the red light. Not really, but either way. And are we going for one more? Yep. Pretty sweet. So, oh, by the way, if you are into live streams, um, Kyle Connor and Andreas, the wave, um, they are doing a coast-to-coast trip with a Chevy, with the new Chevy Bolt, and try only to charge at Iona stations. So it's pretty sweet. And they also use, which I will do most likely too, they use glimpse in order to share their location, so that if you are nearby or so, you can come to an Iona station and meet them. Um, Kyle Connor from Out of Spec and Andreas. So check, you know, the Twitter to see what's going on. Kyle posting on X with all the details. But they are streaming on YouTube, which actually got me interested to stream on YouTube now as well, at least in parallel, because it has some advantages. Number one, it is more or less a video platform, so X is more of a social media thing. So what are we doing here? We're running out of road. Okay. Um, they are, specialized in everything with videos, so naturally you would think that streaming on YouTube is you know, the better thing to do. But YouTube is not really kind of this social media sort of thing, and I don't know. It's some in between thing. Who knows? Um, but why not cover both? If I can, why not? Doesn't hurt. It does not hurt. So yeah, the G here on that bridge almost looks like the G from Glimpse on my app. So yeah, can't hurt to reach more folks, more people, and there are a few more things that I want to change on my setup in a way. Swap the cameras, get a new GoPro camera, even though I hate GoPros, but those are the only ones that allow me to, use a media mod and come out with a signal, an HDMI feed for my computer that I'm using. So that's a problem. The only thing I can do is use an iPhone and mount an iPhone here in the middle, but well, I could get a max lens for an iPhone as well. So those are things to consider, but I really would like to have a higher resolution in the cabin. I think the resolution for the outside is sort of okay. Um, from what I see on the stream, from what I see on the video. But I wanted to be able to have this screen here in a little bit more of a visibility sort of thing, because now on the stream when I look at it, it is sort of a glare reflection, but it is more or less about what you can see here. So are we switching over instead of just signaling forever? Okay. Yeah, so I just want to be able, because I'm always recording things too, and so it's running on my laptop, the recording. I'm actually not even using the GoPro for the recording. And I want to have some sort of okay quality to then extract some of the stuff that was perhaps interesting, or also if the stream has interruptions and so on, to kind of export the recording and then
car on shoulder ahead.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Lord, that was loud. um, to have the ability to upload it afterwards in a better quality if the stream wasn't good enough. And then I'm usually doing the cut and masking on the car, where you do see a little bit of those A-pillars, and do see the top of my head instead of being cut off. and so on. Not that it really matters, but it's just kind of a fun thing to do. Takes a lot of time, so very time consuming. I am 8 minutes away, 2.9 miles. Can't really see this anyway. So yeah, one thing I was thinking of, perhaps adding another camera on the road trip to film the screen. But then again, I don't necessarily need to show all the information in like really, hammering it right in your face, the speed and whatnot. So I want to keep this a bit, if I go over the speed limit for whatever reason, I don't necessarily want to be like, ha, look, there. He violated the law. He went over the speed. Over the speed limit. So that's just, what I'm trying to do here. And yesterday's test that I ran with, this whole setup that I have right now, it ended up in the stream breaking. And what I found out with this Restream, app or website or whatever service, it does create a new stream. So it basically just drops the whole thing and then does another one. So I ended up having like 3 or 4 streams yesterday with X. And the first one that I did with YouTube, for whatever reason, ended up being private, so there wasn't anything to see for the longest. Again, that should be different now, and I'm not even sure if it is, because one thing that I am seeing when I go to the stream is I'm obviously able to see it because I'm logged in as me. So that's something I should have checked. So let's see. And it seems to work. Yep. Because I went to an incognito window and I could see it. So cool. Not a bad thing. And it seems like those streams, I'm just looking at YouTube and X at the same time, and they are pretty on spot in terms of the sync. Maybe not. Either way, who cares? If you want to compare, if you want to stream it on X and YouTube at the same time and look what the offset is, you can, but that's not really the point. So I am 1.7 miles away from my lab appointment here, and let's see how it parks. And then I would be right on time. My appointment is at 9:10 and I'm here at 9:09. If it still takes 4 minutes. So I've never been here, and it's always good to have FSD, knowing which way to go, especially in like a foreign city or so. If you are on a road trip, there's only so much you can have been before, like places. that you have seen, intersections that you remember, road layouts and so on. So I like it to have an extra hand in terms of what you see is what you get. So yeah, how many live streams? Oh, we have created one live stream. Cool. And what does it say? Oh, the chat is on. Okay, yeah. And everything looks good. Okay. Yeah, that might be the way to go for the trip and in the future too. I I don't know. I'm just thinking, why not streaming on more than just one platform? Reaching more people is always better. Even if it's just some drive in a car without really anything spectacular to see other than other cars and traffic. So still made it to 9 viewers. Not bad. Not a bad thing. Almost there. It's a nice medical center here on the left. Looks relatively new. So this lane ends, and well, we managed. That's another thing with FSD. It doesn't have an ego really that can be, tickled or challenged. Because I think if I would have driven myself, knowing how fast my car is, I would have probably pushed the pedal in order to make it in front of that pickup truck towing the trailer here. But then again, it's aggressive. It's sort of a measuring contest at this point, and it just leads to perhaps road rage, and it's not really necessary. There are bigger things in life than what's going on here. There was a brake stab because I guess of this walkway here crossing. Yeah, there are bigger things in life than to obsess about, who can get faster into the other lane. So even though I have participated in this in my life, so okay, so here we are. That's where I need to be, and let's see how we park. It is here on the left hand side, and pick a spot, FSD. Okay, we are going to the side here. And we take that spot, which is actually a good spot. Yeah. Look at this, sweet. Couldn't have been any better. So I need to run. Therefore, I need to stop my stream and say goodbye.